can raise up a better one. If I lost my car today, my source can give me a better one. If I lost all that was in my bank account today, my bank account is not my source. My car is not my source. My employer is not my source. My God, Jehovah Jireh, that's my source. God is our source. God is our source. And when you look at 1 Kings 17:8, and it says that the word of the Lord came to him, and he says, go to Zarephath in the region of Sidon and stay there. And here's the point. He says, I have directed a widow there to supply your need. See, it's important to understand this because God is our source. Everything else is a resource. So God said, I'm not raining 20s out of heaven. I'm not raining $100 bills out of glory. That if I'm going to supply your need, I'm going to raise up a person to supply that need. That's why the Bible says in Luke 6:38, it says, hey, give and it shall be given, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Who shall give? Men shall give unto your bosom. So God is always using somebody else to meet the need. What's interesting is one day I was hanging out at the house and I was in my office and I was flicking the light switch, this little lamp in my office, and it just wouldn't work. And I started messing with it. You know, you mess with the bulb, you start messing with the cord a little bit. And when I went down to look at the cord, I noticed something. It wasn't plugged into the wall. And I'm like, I done spent 15 minutes. And so I plug it into the wall, I flipped the switch, and it came on. And God said the reason why the light didn't work isn't because there's a problem with the light. The light isn't hooked up to the source. See, when you're not hooked up to the source, you can work harder, you can grind harder, you can do all you want, but it's only the source that supplies the things that you need to come up and go to another level. And for many of us, we're getting 3 jobs and 4 jobs. We're on YouTube trying to be a creator, and we're also working part-time at Chipotle. We're doing all of this stuff trying to make more money, and God's like, if you would put your money in the hands of your source, I would multiply what you have. But we don't understand that God is our source. See, here's the thing. The name on your paycheck today, that isn't your source. In my lifetime, I've had Joyce Meyer Ministries written on my check, Christian Life Center written on my check, Lakeview Church written on my check. Back in the day, even had McDonald's written on my check. Oh, yeah. Come on, they said in the commercial, 1 out of 8 of us have worked there. So if I ask you to raise your hand, why you laughing? But here's the thing. No matter whose name is on my check, they're not my source. Because if I lost my job today, my source can raise up a better one. If I lost my car today, my source can give me a better one. If I lost all that was in my bank account today, my bank account is not my source. My car is not my source. My employer is not my source. My God, Jehovah Jireh, that's my source. And when I understand that he's my source, he can bring it from any resource. You could be my resource. You could be my resource. You could be my resource. Listen, the beauty of knowing that God is your source is I don't know what resource he's going to use. I don't know how he's going to do it. I don't know when he's going to do it. But because he's my source and my daddy, it's coming. And what happens to many of us, because we don't understand that he's the source, is that we get locked in on a resource. They haven't given me a promotion yet. They haven't given me a raise yet. So I'm not going to act right on my job. When you don't understand, promotion doesn't come from the north, the south, the east, or the west. It comes directly from the hand of God. And this is just for this service right now because it did not come to me in first service. So while you're being late because you're offended, And why you're not working hard because you're offended, and you think that your employer doesn't see it. Oh, your employer sees it. And he's like, oh yeah, you ain't ready to be promoted yet. You're not ready to get more money yet. Why? Because you ain't acting right with what I gave you. When they hired you, I told them to hire you. You thought you put in a resume and they called you back because your resume looked better? There are 20 resumes that look better than your resume. But God breathed on your resume and said, this is your job. Therefore, I'm hiring you. And I'm watching you to see if you're ready to be promoted. God is our source. God must love y'all because he didn't give that to me at all in first service. The second thing you got to understand, the seed is a system. God is the source.